Henry Cavill's Warhammer 40k series is back on track, boys. What great news. And this time, for real, it seems like. When we thought the night was the darkest, something happened. I don't know what, but here we are, and that's good.
Cavill fought for Warhammer, he fought for the fandom, he fought for us, and he pulled off a victory in pretty much the last minute. What did he do, what's going to happen now, and why is this much bigger than many seem to realize? We're gonna cover all of that today. But before we get into this story, please consider hitting the like and the subscribe buttons. Especially since YouTube seems to be hiding my channel recently, that would help a lot. But now, let's get into the story. After months of speculation and rumors, we finally got the confirmation. The Warhammer 40k live action series is officially in development at Prime Video. Henry Cavill is set to star.
Now, admittedly, still, Prime Video is a giant red flag. Oh my god. Expecting Amazon to do anything right is a feat in itself, okay? A mental gymnastic not a lot can do. But I am hopeful. I think this could work. I am hoping this works. Otherwise, I am gonna be the saddest boy ever. Okay, listen. The Warhammer universe is literally every man's dream. Okay? And getting this in some form more than just a couple of good games here and there randomly would be amazing. Would be absolutely amazing. Warhammer could easily rival Star Wars, especially now the broken, dead husk of Star Wars that remains, where Osha May is literally the best thing in years, which is sad and pathetic and super sad and super pathetic. There's the Harry Potter franchise, which people do brush off a lot, but Harry Potter is still one of the biggest franchises ever. Listen, it's literally one book, and J.K. Rowling, the MILF of the MILFs and GILFs, is a billionaire because of it. You need to understand how much power there is. And Warhammer could be right there next to these franchises.
And produce the series. So it's actually happening. And Henry Cavill was actually the first one to break the news with this post on his Instagram. A picture of him next to the shop where he bought his very first Warhammer figures over 30 years ago. And in the caption of the post, he confirmed that his Warhammer show has officially entered production. And this is what he wrote. To celebrate some Warhammer news, I decided to make a pilgrimage to the very first place I bought Warhammer models over 30 years ago.
It's wild that the shop actually still exists.
Little shop on my home island of Jersey. My incredible team and I, alongside the brilliant minds at Games Workshop, have been working away in concept rooms, breaking down approaches to the enormity and magnificence of the Warhammer world. Together,
I'm not gonna lie, listen, the Warhammer universe is the easiest thing to approach ever. There's the bad guys, there's the Space Marines, there's some Giga Chad, your average troopers there, you know, the guardsmen, and everyone is dying left, right, and center for a higher cause to defeat a common enemy that the humanity needs to overcome. There you go. There you go. The easiest plot ever, and the best part, you can recycle this plot literally 100 billion times a year, and no one's gonna complain. There you go. There you go. That's it. Or potentially a show about the Tau getting shreked by literally everything in the universe, because who doesn't hate the Tau?
We've been sifting through the plethora of incredible characters and poring over old tomes and texts. Our combined efforts have led us to a fantastic place to start our universe, which has been agreed upon by those up on high at both Amazon and Games Workshop. That starting place shall, for now, remain a secret.
Oh, come on! I wanna know! I wanna know!
Watch this space though, more to come in time.
It's probably some kind of already established place. It's not gonna be some kind of new world or whatever.
Return to the shop that first got him into Warhammer is a cute way to celebrate those news. But it's the kind of thing you would expect from someone like Henry. It's fitting that Henry would be the one to announce this. After all those months, whenever someone would mention the show, people immediately associated it with Henry Cavill. I've just as often heard people call it the Henry Cavill Warhammer show as I've heard people call it the Amazon Warhammer show. If not even more so. And it makes sense. The
Hey, if I can get rid of Amazon's touch on this, I'll be pretty happy, okay?
main reason as to why people are excited for it, or why they're optimistic for it in the first place, is not because of Amazon, but because of Henry Cavill. He's not just
If you're excited for this because you hear the word Amazon, my brother in Christ, you need some help.
Superman, but also super fan of Warhammer. And he kept on insisting on how important it is to make this show accurate and faithful to the lore. And everyone who followed the news, the leaks and the interviews surrounding the show knows that they always agreed on one thing. Namely that Henry wanted the show to happen, but that he wanted it to be done the right way. Either that or it's not gonna happen. And even though Amazon
Damn right, dude, Warhammer cannot happen in anything but the right way.
caused some drama behind the scenes, and there were some big creative differences between them, Games Workshop and Henry Cavill, which caused the start of production to be pushed back significantly, they have finally managed to come to an agreement. And not a moment too soon.
Dude, how awesome would be a Krieg series? Again, anything that can be done is gonna be amazing if it's done properly, okay? Everyone loves Krieg, obviously, right? Everyone loves Space Marines, doesn't matter even which chapter or whatever. Everyone loves the Primarchs. Everyone loves pretty much everything about this. It's insanity.
Games Workshop and Amazon have until December of 2024 to agree creative guidelines for Henry Cavill's Warhammer 40k film and TV series, or they won't happen. And when did they come to an agreement? In December. So, right before its deadline. It's funny, Henry said that he would only agree to
That means one side, by the way, capitulated. And either that was Amazon or it was Henry Cavill. Don't think it's gonna be Henry Cavill. And Amazon needs anything after the Rings of fucking shit power, okay? They need anything that's even a remote win.
do the show if he was guaranteed pretty much full creative control over it. And they apparently gave it to him. He clearly learned from his earlier mistakes. We all know what happened with the Netflix Witcher show. He desperately wanted that role of Geralt, cause he loves the franchise, and since The Witcher 3 is one of his favorite games of all time. And yet, he came to realize that Netflix wasn't interested at all in keeping it accurate to the source material. He kept insisting on it, they ignored him, so eventually he just dropped the show. And what a gigachat move that was. He gained so much respect from fans when he left that
The Netflix Witcher series was only good as long as he was there, because he was the guy who said, "Wait a minute, this is not lore accurate." And then they were like, "Oh, please stop, we don't care about lore accuracy." He was the only person pretty much on that show who actually fought for being lore accurate. And the moment he was done, like, the Witcher series obviously just fell off a goddamn fucking cliff.
Garbage show. He was the only thing keeping it alive, and Netflix quickly realized that. They originally planned for 7 seasons, but after he left, they reduced that down to just 5. He might have lost out on some big Netflix paychecks, but he gained a lot of fans by doing that. And clearly, those studios need Henry more than he needs them. A few months later and he was approached by Amazon for freaking Warhammer, a franchise he loves even more than Witcher. And why did they pick him out of all people?
Because he was literally the most popular actor at that point in current times. Henry Cavill was, without question, the most famous and popular and well-known and loved actor at that time. There you go. Let's not kid ourselves. That's why they approached him.
Well, partially because he's a great actor and people love him, but also because even when he was doing interviews for The Witcher, he just kept bringing up Warhammer.
Ruling out The Witcher?
Yeah, not The Witcher. Okay.
I mean, the easy answer is Warhammer 40,000. That is my jam. I have been into it since I was 10.
What's your army at the moment?
Custodian.
She's just looking at it. She's like, "What the fuck does that even mean?"
Yeah.
I'll still sleep with you, but what the fuck does that even mean?
I'm going Necrons next
No,
year.
wait. Oh.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Were you into?
Yes.
Amazon thought Henry would hands down be the best person for the job, and they were totally right on that. Well, we can't say for sure, as we haven't seen the final product yet, but in terms of marketing for the show, it ended up being a home run. People trust Henry. People don't really trust Amazon. They're pretty hit or miss when it comes to their productions. More often than not, they're actually pretty bad, especially when it comes to adapting big IPs. With things like Rings of Power, they showcase how they can take a franchise with a huge built-in fan base, put the biggest budget ever spent into the show of it, and yet utterly fail with
Yep, Rings of Power has like 1 billion behind it. It's insane.
the writing, the casting, and the adaptation of the source material. The most important.
If you're wondering how bad the Rings of Power is, think back to the Game of Thrones and when the White Walkers were attacking Winterfell. And yeah, if you thought trebuchets outside of, your encampment and in the front lines and shit was stupid, then congratulations. You have the Rings of Power. It's non-stop stupidity.
Important aspects, especially when it comes to adaptations. So, Amazon knew nobody would trust them with a Warhammer adaptation. Maybe they even learned from the mistakes they made with Rings of Power, where they hired activists instead of fans to create the show. That's why for Warhammer, they picked someone who people like, who people trust, and who would be capable of creating an actually good show this time around. Cause there's a reason why Amazon desperately needs this show to do well. Cause their plans range far beyond just creating one show with multiple seasons. They want to create an entire Warhammer cinematic universe with shows and movies. And when it comes to
that could be so good, but again, it's Amazon, so fear, prejudice, and a lot of other big words.
Cinematic universes, hell, even when it comes to franchises, the first project is always the most important one. We've seen plenty of planned franchises and even universes fail cause the first movie or show wasn't good. So Amazon wants to play their cards right this time. And with Henry Cavill on board, this is the best shot they will ever get at making this happen.
Again, it's so insane because whoever establishes the Warhammer universe is gonna rake in billions. Billions! Easy! It's not even gonna be hard, they're just gonna rake in billions.
Warhammer has massive potential to be pretty much a money printing machine, if done right. And they seem to have only realized its potential recently, cause now they're going all in on that IP. Not just with that entire universe they're planning, but with their upcoming Secret Level show as well. If you somehow haven't heard of Secret Level so far, it's a Prime Video anthology series.
Oh, I have heard of this. I think I saw something about it. It looks kinda cool, but I don't expect a lot.
From the creators of Love, Death and Robots, that they started to release a couple.
Yeah, I have seen Love, Death and Robots. It's kinda cool, but I mean, it's not something you want to watch, you know?
Couple of days ago actually. It tells 15 different stories from 15 different games over the course of 15 episodes. And one of those episodes is focused on Warhammer. Episode 5 to be exact. And it's among the ones that were already released actually. I haven't seen it yet, but the trailers for the Warhammer episode looked pretty cool. So if that's anything to go by for how they're gonna approach their upcoming universe, then it's gonna look pretty awesome visually. Especially with an even bigger budget. But as we know, the budget isn't what's most important. The most important part is played by the showrunners and the producers, followed by the lead actors. And since we already know that Henry Cavill is
well, best of luck to this. I am really hoping that this succeeds. This could be absolutely 10 out of 10 awesome. That was Neurion, aka... What's his face? I forgot him again. I forgot him name. I know it's tragic that I forget this, but, it is what it is. Anyway, have a nice day. Bye.